Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stoke Hunters, where we dive into the heart of adventure and uncover the stories who chase the good days. In this episode, we're excited to have Alexis, also known as the Gear Girl, joining us. Alexis is a dynamo in the mountain biking world, blending her passions for the outdoor exploration, content creation, and teaching as a mountain bike instructor. With her work with Women's Mountain Bike Network, she's at the forefront of encouraging more women to hit the trail and discover the joy and empowerment of mountain biking. Let's hit the trails with Alexis and find out her love for mountain biking. Let's welcome Alexis. Welcome, Alexis.
Hey, Jared. How's it going?
Good. And yourself?
Not too bad.
How's things over in California?
Good. Southern California weather is, pretty chill. It's like in the 60s today and overcast, so can't complain. How about you? How about up in Quebec?
Edmonton, we are currently minus 25 Celsius, so minus 13 Fahrenheit.
Which for you probably love because you love the snow.
Yeah.
So.
I unfortunately haven't been out skiing that much because their little one joined us 2 months ago.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll be a proud supporter of Women's Mountain Bike Network.
Yeah, well, I think Mia needs to send her we need to make a little baby shirt for the network. That'd be awesome.
Baby onesie?
Baby onesie.
I don't know if you saw the one that I made her with the giant drippy smiley face on the front of it.
That's great. I love it.
So we know you're a big mountain biker. Can you kick off by sharing what kind of first drew you to mountain biking and how it's become a central part of your life?
Yeah. So sorry, I'm getting over a bug. So if I cough, I apologize. But I started mountain biking. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I did school sports, so mountain biking was kind of like the training for cardio when I was really young. My dad it's kind of funny. My dad kind of pushed me into it initially, and I wasn't really necessarily I just wanted to play basketball. That was my passion. But he got me into it, and then after high school, when I realized I wasn't going to play past high school, then I really started falling in love with the outdoors. I'd always done it as a kid, but I really started falling in love with the outdoors after high school, and mountain biking was top of the list.
Yeah, I thought when you said for school, I thought you were going to say you were at one of the only high schools in the world that had mountain biking as a school curriculum.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would have been really cool. I would have gladly majored in that.
Yeah, but we see basketball and football and soccer and volleyball so predominant in high school. And we see ski racing in university and stuff, but it's interesting how mountain biking doesn't have a university section.
It does, yeah.
Or does it?
No, it does here in the States. It does. There's actually a lot of colleges that have collegiate mountain bike programs. It's pretty cool.
Really?
And collegiate racing. Yep.
Did not know that. Mm-hmm. Learn a new thing every day, and something that Canada.
Yeah. You guys don't. You guys don't have that up there?
No. I feel because I always say it mountain biking is the biggest community that you don't know exists until you're in it.
Yeah,
I feel we do our whole country is as wide as your country, but we only have the population of California, so it's we're
That's crazy.
That's so far spread out that I feel the mountain bikers aren't talking to each other yet.
Wow, that's crazy though that you guys only. Because Quebec looks really. It looks. I just from a topographic standpoint, it looks like a good sized part of the country. But I didn't realize that there.
Quebec's massive, and I don't even know.
Yeah.
What is the population? It's always fun when oh, that's Quebec City. I'm it's 500,000 people. I'm there's way more than 500,000 people in Quebec. There we go. 8.5 million. So almost a third of the country lives in Quebec.
Wow. That's so cool. I keep seeing stuff too on on YouTube about how awesome the riding is. I mean, just from what you've said too, that it's just really, there's just some great riding out there. And yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'd love to go. I've only gone out there for skiing because we're out west. So we're
Oh, you're what? Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, Alberta's above Montana.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, totally.
So then, yeah, we get to, my favorite is Whitefish, Montana. It's only like a 5-hour drive from Calgary. And man, is like, I don't know, there's something about like, just like divey bars and then cheap beer.
Yeah, totally.
And especially, and the fact that you can buy it at a gas station.
Yeah, right. It's so true. Wait, so you guys not, there's certain parts of the country here where you guys can't buy beer at a gas station?
No.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's starting to change, but yeah, gas station and grocery store, no liquor. You have to go into a separate, like we have grocery store liquor stores, but there's separate things that you have to go out of the exit of the food grocery store and go into the liquor store portion of it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. That reminds me kind of places in Europe that I've been where it's like, yeah, the liquor is separate to the grocery store. That makes sense. It's actually kind of cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like, it's funny when you travel to different parts of the country and you see like, I mean, like there's been some gas stations I've gone into where it's literally like, it's like you're in a full blown grocery store, just full of beer, and it's like, or they have it on display, and it's just like, is this something you should be picking up while you're driving? But I mean, it's just America.
America, fuck yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
There goes our G rating for that episode.
Oh well, no, seriously, like because I've driven through parts of Texas where it's like literally they just have like these just like the displays like all Coors Light and just like like these like 12 16 packs of beer, and I'm like, interesting. But it's just like out in California they'll kind of like they keep it out in like a fridge in the corner of the gas station, but it's like yeah, it just cracks me up how different parts of the country they're just like, here, the beer's right here. So
well, yeah, and then probably go to some like smaller interior states and they probably just throw you a beer while you're filling up.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like instead of instead of full service like in Oregon where they pump your gas for you, they just chuck you a beer, like if you're in like Louisiana or different parts of the country. Yeah.
Sorry, I lost you there. I don't know if it's it might be my, oh, there we go. Getting better.
Oh, I hear her.
Yeah, she's having her bath. She doesn't like bath time all the time.
Oh dear. Oh, maybe she's still got time to learn.
Yeah.
I love
she's only had 9 weeks of it, so
yeah. She needs to acclimate.
Yeah. So I don't know if you listened to last episode where I had Julie on the podcast from World Ride.
I didn't. I just saw the little promo for it. I want to go back and watch that though.
That's okay. But what I started to do now is every episode of previous, they get to ask someone who's coming on the show a question. So she wants to know what inspires you and where do you get your inspiration and drive from?
That's a good question. What inspires me? Like to ride or just to
I mean, I feel like with you make content, you work in a bike shop, biking is a big portion of your life. So I feel like what inspires you to ride is probably also stuff that inspires you throughout the day.
I mean, what inspires me? I mean, at the end of the day, because I don't know, for me, it's like and it doesn't have to necessarily just be mountain biking. I mean, that's my main passion, but I mean, I love being outside and, we're all just dealing with the everyday minutia of life and stress and whatnot. And just being able to go out and just, simplify going out and being on your bike or going on a hike or going skiing or going snowboarding, because I snowboard. It's just really that inspires me every day, because every day it's a goal of mine to get outside and just be, because outside for me, being outside is like my church. It really just grounds me and calms me. And what I love about that is that I like to bring that joy to others when I teach, or when I'm, you know, working at the shop or helping out with the network, just like it's all about just the pure joy of the sport. So,
And
yeah.
definitely when it's fun when you bring someone who's never experienced it, or maybe they've gone a couple of times, and you bring them out and it starts to click. The joy, like the smile on their face, like I feel like nothing really beats that.
No, it really doesn't. It's so cool. It really is. It's really cool to, like, when I teach, and like if a student does something that that maybe they haven't done before, or they just like, or they, tackle a feature that we're doing that they were scared to do. It's just I love it. It's just I love the pure joy that they feel from it. And yeah, it's funny too, because when I was younger, when I was in my early 20s, I used to be very competitive and not very competitive, but competitive, collegiate, racing and whatnot. And that was just I was so focused on that. And then it's like, after a while, I was just like, I'm not having any fun anymore. And I wasn't even a pro athlete. I was just racing. Like, I got to expert in mountain biking, but I wasn't like doing anything big. And I just was getting to the point where I was starting to hate riding, and I took a big hiatus from it. And then when I came back to it, and I was just like, yeah, I just started to fall in love with it all over again.
Yeah, it's always interesting, and I don't know what makes a phenomenal mountain biker versus people who are still expert level. Like it's kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw that stat where it was like golfers, and like the difference between like the 20th golfer and the top 20 golfer and the top golfer was like, I think it was like 72, like, or not 72, like 68, so like 4 under on average, and then the other guy was like
wow.
2 over, or like he shot par, but like
Right.
the changes were like 0.2 of a stroke, and then like it was like millions of dollars of difference. And it's just wild to see, like, even in that level, like something so like minuscule make all the difference.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if we focused more on the love and like people wanting to like have fun and making fun be the first, if we would see people either last longer in sports or go further.
Yeah. That's a good question. You would think that, yeah, that element would come into play. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, kudos to any athlete, professional athlete, that, for them, you competed professionally as well, correct? In skiing?
In snowboarding, I was sponsored, but nothing ever like crazy.
Right.
Like never like Olympics or like X Games. And it's like,
But that's still pretty awesome. That's really cool.
Thanks. But like, I still find it, I have a hard time sometimes looking back on it, but I'd be always curious on, like, maybe some people just have that drive that they keep going for forever, but it's like, there's always someone better. So how do you keep at it for that long?
Yeah, totally. Well, especially, dude, just even watching like Red Bull Hardline, just all these events that women are actually allowed to compete in on the mountain, in the mountain bike world. And it's just, or just even like if you watch World Cup DH or any of these races, even in just like the few years that just the more I watch it, I'm just like, even 5-6 years ago, these women you weren't seeing women clean the stuff they're doing today. And it's just like, wow, it's just really cool. It's just like, but it's just every year it just gets that much more competitive, and that much harder. And it's just like the discipline you must have to have. Aww.
Well, for skiing now, like, we're spinning 2200s, and it's like, like, is that 8 rotations or no, 4 rotations? Because a 1080 is, what is a 1080? I don't know. Let's just quickly Google this.
Yeah.
How many rotations is 2160? 6 full rotations is a 2160.
That seems crazy to me. Jeez.
Well, it's just like you wind them up and like you just spin the whole, like, I
8 rotations. Jeez, Louis. Oh my gosh.
But like, it's also interesting because like X Games and like all these sports, like you know, you're like, you're the head of it. You have all
Yeah.
these followers. Like, it's got to get draining sometimes. Like,
Oh, I would imagine. I would imagine. Jeez. Yeah. Well, kudos to them for doing that. But yeah.
100%. And you've had the unique experience of riding both West and East Coasts. How do they differ in terrain shape and stuff like that?
I was actually really pleasantly surprised because I just was more like I grew up riding, you know, West Coast riding, and it's so amazing out here. But I was really stoked on East Coast riding. It's different. They don't have the elevation that we have out here, but what's really cool is, and I went to multiple different states. I lived in Georgia for almost 3 years. And they have a really cool mountain bike scene. I had no expectation. I just moved there because my ex at the time was from there. But I was just pleasantly surprised by the trail systems that were local, and they like I said, they don't have a lot of elevation game, but they really work with what they have. They do a lot of really well machined trails, a lot of flow trails, and I love flow trails. I mean, I love pretty much any type of terrain, but yeah, they do a lot of really cool machine built flow trails. They have sections of tech, but they also too, they have like, you know, they have a lot of cool jump lines. They do a good job too, which is really interesting because out in California, nothing's necessarily signed because it's usually multi-use out here. So you don't get like a trail, and there's no like trail sign saying blue and giving it a name. And I love that about East Coast riding because they're really good about like you pull up to a trail and it's like, oh, it's a green run and this is the name of the trail and this is how long it is. And it's just like, I'm like, that's really cool. And yeah, they like North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, you would never, like I said, where Johnny's from. Like, it's so funny because it's like, I live there because my ex has family in Florida. So I would go down to where Johnny lives all the time and I'd ride the local park that he rides. And I never met him and I didn't meet him until I moved back west. So it's just funny. But yeah, the park that he rides at, which is Virginia Key, it's really fun. I kind of joke. It's like, I call it North Shore Miami because it's built on all these, I know I'm going to get this wrong. It's basically like just these piles of it from the hurricanes. There's like this buildup of piles of sand and dirt. And they've basically just taken what they have and they've made these like really cool wood features. I mean, these huge, massive wood features. You know, they've taken like, it's really cool because they've taken like pieces of they take like recycled pieces of like bottles and whatnot and like incorporate it into the trail. And then they have like this one section where you're riding through a boat, like part of a boat. It's really cool. They really work with what they have and it's really fun. Florida actually has a really fun mountain bike scene.
That's sweet. Did you run into any gators?
I saw a couple. Yeah. Not like, no, actually I saw them when I was just, one time I did a tour of the Everglades National Park, which is it's just a big swamp, but it was really cool. Saw a couple there. And then one time I just saw one, just chilling out in a little swampy area. So yeah, they're everywhere there.
Makes sense. It is warm. Were you on, when you went to the national park, were you on one of those like fan boat things?
Airboats. Yep.
That's cool.
And the guy, oh my gosh, dude, the guy he was like something out of a movie. The guy who was the tour guide. Yeah, he was one of my friends said she's like that. She's got a southern accent. She's like, that's a real Florida cracker right there. Because he was just this like leathery, like he had to be probably in his like late 70s, but he just looked like he looked like he was really cool. He's lived there forever. And he actually took us he has a house in the middle of nowhere in the Everglades where he does where he hunts frogs and he skins crocodiles, kills and skins crocodiles. So
and then dumps the bodies that
people who don't they eat the meat too. You walk onto his property and it's like in the middle of, like I said, it's just, I'm like, he took years to build this thing, but just this property out in the middle of the Everglades, and he's got like crocodile. It's like something out of Crocodile Dundee. He's got like gator skins everywhere, and he's got like his little skinning station. And I'm just like, yeah, I was just like, wow, pinch me, because I'm from, like I said, I'm from California. So not that there's not awesome stuff out here, but you definitely, it's a little bit of culture shock. But there's gators there, and there's also, Johnny would attest to this too. There's a lot of iguanas. They're like deer down there. Like they're just like, they're everywhere.
I think
so.
Johnny hit one recently on his bike or something. Or
yeah, I think I'm hearing about that. They're not, and they're like this big. They're not small. I mean, like I'm used to like lizards this big. So yeah.
Little geckos.
Little geckos, yeah.
Have you ever searched your birthday in Florida, man?
What's up?
So there's a thing. I don't know if it like, so there, you'd search your birthday, and then you'd and then you'd put Florida man behind it, and then it would tell you what weird crime someone did on your birthday from Florida.
So my birthday, like just to type in.
Yeah, whatever your birthday is. Like,
okay, November 30th, 1982, and then Florida man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be. No, hold on. Florida man. Let me see. Florida man hit dad. What? Florida man hit dad in the face with pizza after learning he what?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Oh, Johnny's in the group, or he's in the comments.
Speaking of Florida man, what's up, dude? We're talking about Florida right now.
Yeah, Florida. Here we go. A Florida man tried to smuggle methamphetamine into a local jail by hiding it in a sensitive area on June 30th, which is my birthday.
Florida man hit dad in face with pizza after learning he helped deliver him. What? Wait, Florida man hit dad in face with pizza after learning he helped deliver him. Police say, I don't know what that means, but
yeah, there's always it. I don't know how I ever found that, but yeah, it got some good things. They were funny. But back to mountain biking, as someone deeply involved in mountain biking, what changes or development are you most excited about in the sport?
I'm glad to see more representation for women. It's still got a ways to go, but I'll have to listen to more. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was reading Johnny's comment. I like that. I love that that's progressing and changing. And then also too, I love the fact that just with female content creators are getting a lot of recognition. Like you had Jess on. I mean, she's one of the top ones out there right now, and the Women's Network, and is getting a lot of recognition. And Julie, right? Yeah, Julie, just like what she does is amazing. It's just like, yeah. So I'm really excited to see that and and see how that progresses. Like I said, it's still, I mean, it's such it's still a constantly growing the women in the sport, and it's a constantly growing demographic. So it's just really cool to see it blossom the way it has.
Well, and it's cool to see the sports that have kind of pushed it already, like women's soccer in the States or like rugby in Australia. Like, if you show people that they can do something and you put it in front of them, it just builds it and gets people more excited.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's always interesting reading the comments on, like, especially when it was like, when it was to let the women ride and everything, because they can't, like, I don't know. I just don't get trolls on the internet, and I'll probably, if anyone ever listens to this episode, like, I'll probably start getting trolls. But like, what's the point? What's the point? Like, why? Like, do you not have anything better in your life?
I don't know, dude. They just sorry, sound like Doc Holliday over here. No shame. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that get distracted by the comments. Thanks, Johnny. But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll occasionally comment. I don't know if you do this too. I'll comment on something if I see it on social media, but the trolling, I don't know where it comes from. I mean, sometimes they say it's bots, sometimes it's just someone who is
Butthurt.
just butthurt about something, or just like, they're all about the pen is mightier than the sword. I don't know. So, it's just I don't know but where it comes from. But I mean, shit, the bigger you get, the more trolls you do get, and I mean, with the network, I've noticed every now and again we'll get comments. Someone's just like, especially that's another thing too. It's like you feel the pressure, and I feel this too. Even when I working in a bike shop, it's like sometimes I feel like I have to even be more right and correct and perfectly correct because I am a woman. And it's just like, where it's like, because if I get it wrong, they're gonna be like, oh, she's a girl. Of course she got it wrong.
Yeah.
So that's
stupid standard.
Yeah, it is getting better, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, I always joke with me and Lauren that sometimes I have to, like I'll get at like I'll have customers come in, and they're both male and female. They'll be like, do you know anything about bikes? That's the first thing that they'll ask me. And I'm just like, uh-huh. But in my head, I'm like, well, I do. Obviously, I know something. I wouldn't be working in a bike shop if I didn't know something about bikes. But yeah, it just kind of goes with the territory.
Yeah. Well, and I was reading I forgot where I read it, but it's like, when someone is considered an expert on something, they usually only have about 5% more knowledge than someone else on the subject.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's like, and I don't know about you too, but I mean, I feel like I never say like I'm always learning. Especially with the outdoor industry, there's always new stuff coming out. The bike industry, I mean, every year they're rolling out something new. I mean, they just rolled out those SRAM Maven brakes, and it's like, I'm like, oh, now I got to do research on those because I know a little bit about them, but there could be that guy who's just literally sitting in front of the computer, like literally nerding out on every single spec on those brakes, and I'm just like, so it's constantly changing. So
yeah,
I'm always learning, always learning. Never the expert.
Well, and there's two graphs on it. It's like, arrogance and knowledge. And it's like when people are super arrogant, they usually have very little knowledge. And then when they have expert, or like lots of knowledge, they're usually not arrogant about it because they know.
Yeah.
But there's also another thing that separates all data or like knowledge in the world into stuff. So it's like 4 boxes. It's like, the things that that you're good at, the things that that you aren't good at, the things that but you have no idea. And then the box that is about probably like 90% of the rest of the knowledge in the world is like the things you don't know that you have no idea about.
Yeah. That's a cool analogy. I like that. Whoop, you froze.
Yeah. I don't know why. I guess the minus 25. If Johnny's here, that's minus 18 Fahrenheit.
18 degrees, Johnny, if you're still out there. It's probably, I'll bet you right now, because I've been there, I've been to his neck of the woods this time of the year. It's actually gorgeous. It's like 70 degrees, 70, 80 degrees and sunny. It's just like, I can't math.
Where's Johnny from? I want to see what the weather's like there, because currently it's minus 18
I think
Fahrenheit.
I think he lives in Miami. You're in Miami, right, Johnny? Bueller? Just kidding. Yeah, I think he's in the Miami area.
I hope he sometimes dresses up as like my Miami Vice, and then
yeah, I could see him doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 21 degrees there, and so it's like a whole
Miami. Yep.
40-degree split difference in weather. We've got minus 15 Fahrenheit here, and he's got 70-degree Fahrenheit there. Yeah.
Oh, Jared, you would just, I'm not gonna lie, like right now, like at night in Florida, it's like you just get, it's really cool because you get like this ocean breeze, and it's like 75 degrees. It's really nice this time of year there. He's very lucky. It's freezing.
Yeah, really? 70 degrees.
Yeah. Well, that's that. Yeah. If I lived down there, that would probably be cold for me too. Yeah. But yeah, just really quickly, just while he's on here too. Yeah. I mean, like, and I was talking to him about it too when he came out to the Ride and Shine event. It's just like, I love Florida riding. It's really fun. And I mean, like they have such a cool community down there and an awesome group of riders. And yeah, like I said, they work with what they have and they create some really cool shit. Really cool shit.
Well, so. And I think you have to. It's like, Edmonton, our river valley, I think we have 80 meter, 100 meter elevation from like down to the river up top. So nothing crazy.
Right.
Or let me 100 meter, 2 feet, 320, like 300 feet. So not mountain elevation by any means, but like, so then we just do about 20 kilometers of it in a day, and then we'll have about 300 meters of elevation. So
oh wow,
you just kind of have to make what you have, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not dying of humidity. Perfect. Yeah, I was just saying that, dude. I was saying how perfect it probably is there right now. But yeah, no, where you ride. I mean, I keep seeing the pictures and the videos you post on the Good Day page. It looks beautiful. It just looks so beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. And like we're in Edmonton. We're 5 hours east of the mountains, but then like Calgary, you're an hour.
Okay.
But from Calgary, you have like I think like 9 bike parks within like within a 7 kilometer or a 7 hour drive.
Wow.
So there's like Revelstoke, which is known for good mountain biking. Then there's like Sun Peaks, Fernie. There's just a whole, like, it's crazy. Like you don't have to go far to get, and then like some of them are like only an hour apart from each other, so you can go like ride a whole other new terrain, which is wild.
No, dude, that's so cool. Yeah, it looks beautiful there. There's a reason why some of the best riders come out of Canada.
Well, you kind of have to be. You get chased by moose if you don't go fast enough, right?
Oh well, here in this country, people like to take selfies with them. They don't. I don't know if you ever see that on Instagram, like in Yellowstone National. Oh my gosh, this is where you're just like Darwinism at its finest. You see these tourists try to take photos with bison and with moose, and it's just like you're watching it and you're just like.
Well, I can one up you. We've had tourists up here trying to take pictures with bears.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, so you got the. It's just worldwide. People.
Yeah, the stupid tourists are stupid tourists. They have too much money, so they just travel.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite stickers I ever got as a kid was, "Why is it called tourist season if we can't shoot them?"
That's great.
How long have you been an instructor in mountain biking?
6 years.
6 years?
6 years, yeah.
So was it
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask, was it a big transition to go from rider to instructor?
No, it kind of, I just kind of like I kind of dwindled. I mean, occasionally I'll do, like, I did an enduro race a couple years ago. I'll occasionally do a race, but it's not like I'm like, ooh, it's not like I trained for it or anything. But I worked. Have you ever heard of have you ever heard of REI? It's an outdoor recreation. Yeah. So I used to work at REI, and REI has their well, they call it experiences. They change the name up all the time, but it used to be called the outdoor school. So I applied. This was 2017. I applied to be an instructor and started doing that part-time. And then I really just loved it, fell in love with it, and just started doing it more consistently. And then I decided to go get my certification. And there's different levels of certification. I just have the first level 1 certification from, it's called PMBIA. I'm going to butcher the acronym here. Professional Mountain Biking Institute. I forget. Anyway, they're based all over the country. They're worldwide in terms of their instruction. So it's a 2-day course, and you get certified. And then after that, you can teach you're qualified to teach certain classes. So I mostly teach what's called fundamentals, beginner fundamentals, which is just basic. It's like the starting points of, positioning and comfort on the bike and correct body position. And I don't teach, I'm not certified to teach jumping. I am certified to teach, I can also teach advanced fundamentals, but yeah, it's really fun. So I've been doing that. I work part-time with another company. They're called Ninja Mountain Bike Performance, and they're also all over the country. Their corporate office is based in Oregon, but they have instructors all over the country. They're a really good school if you want to learn how to, if you want to learn any mountain bike tutorial or instruction. Yeah. So
that's sweet.
Yeah.
When you transitioned from rider to instructor, what was the biggest challenge you faced?
Speaking in public. I'm very shy. I mean, you see my content, but I used to do drama, and Johnny knows this too. I did drama in school, but I was such a shy kid, and I'm still a shy person. And it's hard for me to speak in public. So I still struggle with that. So
it doesn't show with your content. Like you always seem like you know what you're doing and you're having fun. And
well, I'm good at being a goofball. So if I have to be serious, then that's a different thing. But yeah, probably I'm having to get comfortable speaking to students. That's always my struggle. But
what have you found helps with overcoming it?
That's a good question. I think after I start initially talk, I think when I get it, I know it sounds weird, but I think after like someone cracks like if I like laughs or something, then I kind of relax a little bit. But sometimes there's been times where it's like it just depends on the demographic changes. So it's like could be times where I get really just super goofy people or chill people, and then there's sometimes where I get very serious people, and they're just like, I'm here to learn, and they're just like no, it's like one of those like cricket, thank you very much, I'll be here all night. I'm like, oh shit.
You're like where's the hook that's gonna pull me off the stage?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like like the cane, like good night, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, you just gotta, I mean, sometimes I know it sounds weird, but sometimes I don't even mind assisting. I mean, I love to teach, but because usually with Ninja, with the company I teach with, they'll have 2 instructors for safety reasons. And the assistant is essentially the one just demoing and sort of helping, the students, making sure that they're, don't have any questions or don't need to be taken off to the side and assisted separately. And that's nice because you don't have to talk as much. And it's still, you have a great time. It's still very fulfilling, but sometimes I'm just like, there's some days, dude, where I'm just like, I love this, but I just don't want to talk as much today. But I have to, but It's okay. It's just, you just get over your stage fright.
100%. So would you say you're full introvert, or are you an extroverted introvert?
I guess you would say I'm
or a shy extrovert.
I'm a shy extrovert, I guess, because once I get used, like I'm comfortable talking to you because I've talked to you a few times, and but if you met me in a social setting, I'm pretty quiet initially. I don't really talk.
Do you find you get your energy from social events, or do you find they drain you?
I get energy from social events, so I would say I guess I'm an extrovert.
A shy extrovert.
Shy extrovert, yeah.
Or I guess maybe that's just an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, introverted extrovert. What about you?
Extrovert, but I also like I get energy. It's like, I'll have a hard time sleeping sometimes. But then there's also something where it's like, it's just nice to relax sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. It really is.
So I know we've chatted about Women's Mountain Bike Network and helping me. How do you believe networks like the Women's Mountain Bike Network are changing the face of mountain biking?
I think it's progressing and changing it because there's not a lot out there for women. like there's Pink Bike, there's, Lone Ranger, there's all these different, there's all these different social media content platforms for women and men, but there's none that's more specific to women.
Mm-hmm.
And, that just gives you a broad range of content. And that's what Mia's goal is to create that. And it's really, that's why I was just so stoked to come on and help out and be helping out with the social media and the photography. Cause yeah, she has a very strong vision, and she's very determined, and she's great with networking and just like,
Mm-hmm.
and just, bringing different elements into her content. So yeah, I just think it would be nice to see. And that's another thing too. You don't really see too many female content creators like on YouTube that have like this huge following. It's a little bit more, it's like I can maybe name 3 or 4 that I know of that I follow. And yeah, it's just so, I think that what Mia's doing is really awesome.
Well, yeah, like Jess is like the one that always comes top of mind. She was kind of like, I think, the first one. And then when I started engaging with Women's Mountain Bike Network, then you popped up. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. Like, and I like the Star Wars theme font and everything. And you've incorporated R2D2 and stuff like that. But like outside.
Oh, I have another one coming up with him.
I'm excited. And then there's Becky and Carla from Girls Pull Up, Not Out. But I would say it's more their channel versus both of them. Like their memes are hilarious. Trailside chats and everything.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love their stuff too. Yeah. It's just like, there's so much. Yeah. And it's just like, I love the satire. I love the humor, like with Johnny, it's just like his stuff is just very goofy. And I totally resonate with that. It's just like, and then, like with Jess and actually I finally, I met Jess recently. She's super cool. Yeah. She was out here in California, and she's just doing some awesome work with her content. And but yeah, I just like, I think that it's cool when you can make fun of yourself and find the humor in it. In situations,
I think we kind of focus on the wrong things in life. Like, we always look at success, but it's like, I was thinking about this last night because I'm like, I was reading a LinkedIn post from two women who launched a company and then exited it like eight years after. But she was talking about like, the high, we launched this thing. We had 1,000 members sign up immediately on day one. So that's the big high. And then she's like, and the low was, we didn't have the platform strong enough to handle 1,000 signups, so it crashed. And for anyone else, that'd be a good problem. And then it like just kept going back and forth. And then she's like, oh, by the way, we're building like, this email like newsletter that talks about like failure and like the real sides of business. Cause like, we only talk about the success, and it's like, well, why don't we start reframing failure? Cause like, without like you can't have one without the other, and it's usually you need one more than it. But like, even if you look at life, how do you succeed in life? Like, if you think of it at like day one of born, you don't have days of living. It's like a countdown. So it's like, you're kind of always dying, or like, at the end, you kind of failed life. You died. So,
it's true. When someone say once you're born, you're just decomposing.
Yeah.
Until you die. I was just like, geez Louise, dude. It's so true. It's so true. No, someone else, we can start getting into like, because I look up this type of thing as well. It's like they'll do the analogies. There was a graph of birth to like how the time from birth to when you're about 18, and that's like your youth, your childhood, and then the period of time you work, and then retirement. And the point he was trying to make in that was just like, you spend so much time working, and just that's the crux, or that's the basis for your existence if you're one of those workaholics, and then you retire at 65, and then
if you make it to that,
to 65, it's just like, exactly. So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, and that's interesting too, because I talked to because I'm a millennial, and I think you're younger than me, right?
No, I'm old. I'm an 89, so 34.
I thought you were younger than me. Oh, so you're also a millennial. So I mean, it's just like
I call myself because like I did a second degree, so then I, finished that one in 2018. So I call myself like a zennial because like
yeah, right. Yeah,
because I am a millennial, but like I didn't fully come into the workforce until later with everyone because like
right.
I went into it and then I went back to school and then I came out. So it's like,
yeah, I can
and
see.
I'm
You're
way too much social media. So like,
no.
I'm on TikTok where like a lot of millennials aren't on TikTok.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Maybe not.
I mean, no, maybe no. I mean, I'm not on. The only reason I got off TikTok, I mean, I had an account, but I was just getting too addicted, so I had to. I had to get off that. I was just like wasting my life away on TikTok. But
it's funny looking at the like how like because like it was Boomer then us and then Gen Z, and it's like Boomers like would tell millennials like, oh, you got to be perfect, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then like millennials started.
We forgot we forgot Gen. So Boomer, Gen X, then Millennial.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, there is them. But like millennials like just like say yes sir and like have their back, like everything gets piled up on them, and then like Gen Z will be like, yeah, I'm not coming in today, fuck off.
Yeah, I know, it's so it's so true. It's just like, I mean, I say this, I say this in the best way possible. My younger coworkers, they're very smart and they're good guys. But yeah, sometimes they won't even call. They'll just be like, yeah, I'm just like, I don't feel like, I'm going to like one of them went home today. He's just like, yeah, I'm bored.
I'm going to go surf.
Are you, I'm like, yeah, are you a trust funder? It's just like, I mean, or some of them will just like, a couple of them won't, they won't even call out, and they'll just, and then my boss will talk to them later. And I'm just like, I just never could have thought of doing that when I was your age. Like the thought of not calling out unless I wanted to get fired, which was not the case. So it's just like, I could never have done that. But yeah, it's just well, everybody's. Yeah.
And I think society is, it seems like we're going down the toilet more and more. So it's like, with boomers, you'd buy your house for $1,000, and then when you retired, you could sell it for $1 million.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And like you'd always get a promotion. Whereas it's like now, like, a lot of people are working at minimum wage, and like, or they have like two, 3 jobs, and like, yeah, like for some, it's like, yeah, why would I? If I want to go home, I'll go home because like at the end of the day, I can get a job somewhere else.
Dude, you don't even want to know what I get paid. It's bad. It's really bad. It's not even, I'm below. If I didn't have a little help, I would, and by help, I'm living with my sister's very generously letting me live with her right now, rent free, but I would be below poverty, especially in California. I am below poverty. It's just like, it's a trip. Yeah. But it's retail. So, I mean, you can't expect to get paid a certain wage for retail, but it's all good.
I find it interesting because like I worked retail, and the ski shop that I worked in, we got commission, so we'd get 3% on everything we sold. So like when I was in university, I was making like $50 an hour because I was good at like they were a busy shop, and I was like ski. But then I had a friend who worked at like another shop down the thing, and they got paid like $18 an hour, and it's like then they'd get like a couple lift tickets. But it's like, I don't know. I always find it interesting as retail, and I find it interesting when like people complain about minimum wage.
Oh.
Like I think it should have been restructured a long time ago.
Oh, you froze.
Like if you're sharing. Oh.
Huh?
Where did I freeze?
You froze. You froze. You were talking about the getting 18 an hour. It was way far back. Sorry.
Oh no worries. Yeah. So like, yeah, like I was making 50 at one shop, and like my friends were only making $18 an hour, but like, I don't know. And like, maybe it's because I have my own business, and like, but like, I don't get when companies are like, oh, if minimum wage goes up, I can't survive. It's like, well, maybe you should have looked at restructuring your company a long time ago so you could pay people a living wage.
Yeah. No, for sure, dude. It's just, I mean, yeah. And that's I don't know if you've been following too. It's been an interesting year for the bike industry because it's like, I mean, I think they're going to bounce back. I think they're going to be okay. But I mean, it's just like, yeah, a lot of these companies, a lot of these smaller companies are definitely struggling. And, it's like, yeah, trying to just kind of weather the storm. Whoop. Oh, I froze. You froze again.
Am I back? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. There you are.
I saw that freezing. I'm like, oh, it turned black. I know I'm not talking. I might as well just stop talking.
You're all good.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because, like, you see you've seen brands like Dope Snow and like Montec pop up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And they're only direct to consumer, so I always find it interesting, like how they can build like viral content or build something. I think you have to solve a problem and do it well, and then pay people to like grow it. Like, if someone brings you in a new customer, should they not get a high commission check if they weren't going to come in already?
Yeah,
because they brought
for sure. Yeah. Because they brought you it's a new clientele base. I agree.
Yeah, but some people just want to hoard the wealth sometimes. But
a lot of people do. I don't know what it's like up in Canada, but yeah, down here it's definitely like it's there. It's basically just it's rich and middle class, or not even middle class. It's rich and poverty down here. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of money going around, but it's like it's only that 2% of the demographic that has it. But it's just at the end of the day too, though. It's just it's like. I like I said, like even like when I get to teach, I wish I could teach more. Like if I could, I would I would love to be outside all the time. It's just like that would be my goal at the end of the day. So yeah.
Buy a van and live in it and just teach.
Yeah, just like teaching, or just like, I don't know. Sometimes I think about, although they don't really pay very much, just like it's only a summer gig. Sometimes I think about applying to one of the the parks to work, either be like a mountain guide, or just work the maybe not necessarily the lift, or maybe the lift, I don't know, just like work on the mountain. But I know it's like a very minimal minimum wage job, but I mean, it's just like, you get to be outside all the time. And the thing, it's kind of a bummer too, that with instructors, is that mountain bike instructors, is that to do it full time, you either have to live in more of a, an area that's really like more touristy, because that's where you get a lot of your income from, is that demographic. So like a touristy area, or like an area like with a mountain, like a ski resort or something, or like a mountain town. Otherwise, most of this is all like anybody who works for Ninja, with the exception of some of the higher, like maybe like 10 employees, I think. Everybody's part-time. We're all part-time instructors. So yeah, that's just
how it works.
It's just how it works. It just depends. It just depends on what company you work for too.
Yeah. So every rider kind of has a bucket list of trails or locations. What's the top of your list, and why?
I would love to go to Whistler. And Whistler or New Zealand. I know those are two completely different places. I mean, Whistler, I would love to. I mean, the riding there looks amazing. I've wanted to go there since probably my early 20s. That's definitely a bucket list place. And New Zealand just looks, the riding just looks beautiful, and the terrain and the topography. It just looks, those are probably, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I'm stoked to ride anything. There's so many, cool areas to ride, even in the north, especially in North America. So it's just like, but definitely top of the list is Whistler.
Yeah, I've never been there for mountain biking. Crankworks looks wild.
It looks really cool. Trying to get up there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're trying to get up there. We're trying to get up there this summer. I don't know what's going to happen with that, because it's the first time they're going to let women compete in the slope style, which is so cool.
Yeah. That's really cool, and kind of crazy that, it had to happen in 2024.
I don't know if I mean, it's like, it's interesting, because it's like, it was so cool to see how much headway the Let Them Ride got over the swimming, because it was just like, I mean, we've all been thinking it too. It's like, and then they came out with Red Bull Formation, which was awesome. We were like, sweet, they finally have an event for women, you know, for what that's essentially like Rampage. And then they're like, oh no, we're not going to do that anymore. And it's just like, what the fuck? It's just like it was such a blow. And it's like, come on, it's like, what is this 1952? It's like, let them compete in this competition.
Well,
so,
and you know, like let's say it's a accountant at the top who's like, you know, where are we going to get the money for this, or like that. It's like, make a product and whatever, like, you know, we have Kickstarter, we have Indiegogo, like, you know, just make a special Red Bull can or make a QR code and be like, okay, if you want women to mountain bike, you know, 50% of the proceeds from this can support it. And then you'd probably see a whole influx of people going to buy Red Bull, and then they'd get more sales, and they could just divert, like, you know, it's not even taking old money to do something, but it's wild how sometimes I think about that.
Yeah. No, it's just funny. Just bringing up, and I mean, this is a different discipline, but one of my coworkers, she's a professional. She works part-time at the shop, and then she races road biking. She's a professional road biker. And she was telling me, we were talking about it one night, and she was telling me like what she gets paid. And I'm just like, are you joking me? And she is a full-time athlete. She gets paid. I think she said her annual, I think she said she gets maybe 25,000 a year from her team to that's her income. She has to offset it by working at the shop and doing other things. But I mean, she's like at an elite level. Like she's not like a domestique, you know, like like, are you familiar with road racing? The different types of,
no.
Well, road racing, like I used to road race for like a minute. But with a domestique is basically like the bitch. Like, you know, it's like you're basically like you're helping someone else win. You're pacing, you know, you're making sure that they're not overworking themselves in the race. You're making sure they're supplied with food. You know, it's just like, it's a very low level part of the team, because it's a team, you know, event. It's a team sport, like the Tour de France.
Yeah.
And she's saying, she told me that that male riders, domestic male riders that are just starting out their first year, start at about 50,000, starting at 50,000. The ones that are actually where she is professionally, they're making close to, I mean, if they're winning, they're bringing in good money. They're probably bringing in 6 figures a year, you know, and it's just like, I'm like, she's talking about this, and I'm just like, damn, dude. It's just like, I'm like, and it's like, I get it. There's, you know, and it's trying to grow it's trying to find space for the women's category as well as the men's. But I mean, it's just like, and it's getting so much better, like I've said, but it's just like, there's still a lot of work to be done, you know, on that front. And
the thing that's wild is, like, you know, when you let women compete at the, like, you know, you give them the space, they're usually just as good, if not better. Like, you know, when the NHL All-Stars happened, like, they had women come for the skills competition, and like the woman was faster than Connor McDavid, or like, you know, had higher points. I think it was Haley or Hillary or something like that. But like, right, like they performed equally as well. But then it's like, for some reason we think that they don't deserve the same support and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, dude, that's another thing too. You want to see trolling. Oh my God. Because I follow a lot of women's, like for other sports, for soccer, for skiing, for snowboarding. You gotta hear it. I mean, sometimes they will throw in a little comment like, wow, how like something like, a lot of insecure males on this platform. You know, it's just like, I'm like, I mean, nothing too bad, but it's just like the comments these guys make. It's usually men. It's not, I mean, and you know, it's like, they're just like, they're like, put them back in the kitchen. You know, it's like all, I mean, that's sedate compared to the stuff I read. And it's just like, I'm like, wow, just like, it's like, yeah, you're just like, why? You're just like, you know, it's like, I guess it's like too, because we love watching men compete, and we love watching, you know, we're stoked to, I mean, we're not going to be like, oh, you know, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just a different perspective, but it's like, they just, in one sense, there's a lot of great allies for women in sports. And then just occasionally you do get the, as you say,
Yeah.
the trolls.
Yeah. Well, and
But,
and you ever meet a troll, they're never going to say that to your face. It's only on the internet when they're hidden.
yeah. Well, especially the Gen Zers. Oh my God, they love to do their hate comments in text. But if you confronted them, you'd be like, "So, how about saying that to my face?"
Yeah.
But
Well, you can say it there, but or like like they'll preach on something of like a company not doing anything good, but then you'll never see them do anything to like make society better.
yeah, I know. Well, like you said, we're all just trying.
Yeah.
We're all just
Yeah. But for those, looking to follow your tire tracks of like becoming an instructor, being a content creator, what advice would you give to aspiring mountain bikers or content creators?
be your authentic self. Do something. Try to do something that, when it comes to creating, try to do something too that just like that feels good for you, that feels comfortable to you, and something that you don't feel like you need to, fit a mold, because some of these other creators that are coming into the platform are creators that are they're doing so well because they're coming up with such cool, unique shit. So, just don't feel like you have to fit yourself into that box. And it's constantly growing and changing and evolving. And in terms of instruction, oh my gosh, there's such a need for instructors out there, male and female. And excuse me, just if you the base, in my opinion, if you have that pure love and joy for the sport, and you love to give that to someone else, that's like just the perfect platform to start you off, and you just build from there.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And kind of as we're coming to our end, what question would you like to pose to our next guest to keep the conversation going about good days?
Let's think. Okay. Is it biking related, or is it like just sport? Could it be any? Oh, I don't know who you're gonna have on. Let me think.
Oh, there we go.
What? Oh, okay.
So the next guest is someone who builds rails and different features in ski parks, like terrain parks on mountains.
Okay. What brings you the most joy when you're outside?
Okay, I will ask him that. And then last question, for those having, maybe they're having more bad days currently, and they feel like, it's just been bad day after bad day after bad day. What advice would you give them?
Laugh as much as you can. Try to find the humor and stuff, because laughter is like it's really is such great medicine. Yeah, just like try to, for me, like, I've been having like, cause I've been having a kind of, rough couple weeks, just I've been sick, and just like, just life. And the more I laugh, when I get like a moment of laughter, it just like, it just melts all that stuff away. And it just feels so good.
100%. And I think, even myself, like I'm just getting off a cold too. And, you feel so drained, and you're like, oh, I kind of like, oh, this podcast feels, but like we laughed and we had good, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
reach out to people and like, share a laugh, share a stupid meme,
Yeah. Find the humor.
We're creatures of community and like support, and so it's like send your friend a message if you're having a bad day. Like, you don't even have to tell them you're having a bad day, but I guarantee you send them something funny, they'll probably send you something back that will bring that laughter out, and you'll just feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And I love, and I like, just when you went on with just really quickly, when you went on with Johnny, that was such a good podcast. I really enjoyed that. And once again, Jared, I just really love what you're doing for the outdoor industry community. Your message and your company is very inspiring, and I'm super stoked to be working with you. and just think you're overall seemingly really cool human being.
Thank you. And I hopefully one good day gets big enough, I'll have it's a good day to go across America tour, and then you can show me California and the mountain bike.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or I love traveling. So if I can get some money together, I'd love to head up and see you guys. It looks beautiful up there.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Well, maybe we'll send, once we're big enough, we'll bring all our ambassadors up for like the baseline mountain bike poker rally in June.
No, that sounds, I'm down.
I'll bring Johnny, Jess, Mia, Mark from the segment, Joey.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
Sweet.
That'd be a fun time.
It will be.
Yeah. All right. Well, take care, Jared.
You too. Have a good night.
All right. You too.